Thank you so much, VFF. I am so honored to receive this. VFF is an organization that celebrates filmmaking and storytellers, always furthering the flow of creativity. It's a flow that would stop if people didn't believe in it. And I recognized as a kid that it's magic. And magic is the only way I can explain what is happening here tonight. It would be a mistake to think that this award celebrates just me. What we just saw were moments from stories that I got to live in for brief times, but to remind us what we all share, feelings, needs, and usually the truth that we need each other, that we are not alone, that when we forget that, there are consequences, sometimes funny, sometimes sad, and sometimes dire, that only get resolved if and when we find our way home. And making movies and telling stories and getting to do it as often as I have has always been a group effort and a way of finding home. And that's what makes this award from the magnificent festival in this community in front of all of you such a special honor. Antonio, you and your organization of some of the finest people I am ever going to meet floor me. This festival encourages new talent, supports those of us still striving to make more art, and celebrates filmmaking, and makes VFF my favorite festival and this gala the finest to attend on any given year. You are amazing. There is not a producer in Hollywood North or South who would not learn so much about how to make things great by spending just a little bit of time watching what you do. Your passion for storytelling and building community is a Canadian resource, and I mean that. Being your indie leader this year makes me so proud to be a permanent part of VFF's incredible story. Making an indie leader recipient takes people who believe in you, and I want to thank my esteemed company tonight and in my traveled opinion, the best agent in North America, Rich Kaplan. He has managed my career 20 plus years, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. He believed in me and the meeting, and after I left the meeting, he left a message on my answering service before I came out of the subway. And that lack of hesitation was the fire I needed before I knew what being on fire could look like. And the only reason why I know what being on fire could look like is because of the time I've spent with you. He's always ensured I'm not boxed into a type and only lets me grow from the people I got to play before, and it's an actor's dream. He also steadies my boat, never getting caught up in the highs or lows of a career, reminding me of what's important and what's not. He's also such a very good human and has been a mentor to me on that front too. It takes a lot of support, and I want to commend Mayor Stephen Del Duca and Quad Reel for their commitment in bringing the new Performing Arts Center in Vaughan to life. These efforts by community and government to make sure that arts are a part of our lives are so important. It reminds me of my mother and I finding my first acting classes at 12 years old in a calendar at the public library. And we were so excited at the idea, we walked twice a week to Wilson and Keele, and I'd go downstairs and I'd learn how to act, and she'd go upstairs and she'd go to the Italian section of books, which was about a shelf, and she'd find a book to read, because when she was my age, they were too poor to go to school and learn about stories. So she was hungry for that. And when she had a chance to do that, she could find her passion again. It's very hard to have a child's talents meet the opportunities without the support from government and private sectors. And it's always a gift to find the leaders who understand that and help make it happen. Being an indie leader takes a nice suit, and I want to thank Per Louis for this number and most any red carpet post from the last few years where I look good. They are the best wardrobe department. They know what looks good on me before I do. Even my suit on suits doesn't measure up to what Paul, Sandro, Sandy, and the gentleman crew do effortlessly every time I walk into the shop. Thank you. Being an indie leader takes inspiration, and I want to commend all the truly amazing shorts I got to see as a juror this year. Your stories have enriched my life. I want to give a shout out to all the movies from the high schools I saw at the screening on Monday. Talent, skills, dedication, ingenuity that promises filmmaking and storytelling will be in great hands for all the years to come. It takes collaboration to be an Indie Award recipient, and the directors, the writers, the cast, the crews that I got to make stories with and share experiences with, years of making me a better actor, better at my job, giving me amazing experiences that keep me fed when times are slow, and always keep me hungry for more. I want to thank my colleagues at MAP, an acting practice that I go to, some of whom, Nadine, are with me here tonight. And a special shout out to Meredith McGeechee, who couldn't be here tonight, but who honors a child artist in each and every one of her students, that the water isn't dangerous and it's safe to dive in and to come out and play. And on that note, and finally, it takes love. It's a very brave and vulnerable thing to open your heart and to share a story. I would not know how to do that without the people I love and who love me. And that includes the people who can't be here tonight. And by that, I mean the person I am sharing my life with, who, as we speak, is in his first preview at Shaw as I wrap up this speech. Actors have crazy schedules. I feel very blessed to have someone who sees me and understands what this all feels like, even when he can't be here. But I have him here, and that helps, and he has me there, and that helps too. And I'm also speaking about my mother and father, Elisa and Silvino, who always made me know that they loved me and in turn taught me how to love. My mom died the year before any of this got going, and I credit her for where I am now. When she got sick, she underlined how short life is. She would point at the framed poster of Dead Poets Society that I got at the rental store in my bedroom and say, "Sergio, carpe diem. If you want to do this, you have to do this with all your heart." And my father, who lived 20 more years before that, I listened to my mother because me and my mother were very close. And my father, who lived 20 more years and got to be much more proud of me. In fact, there was a point where I got to be his wingman. We'd go for lunches at Fornello or Toroni, and whenever there was a pretty woman sitting next door, he'd look at me, and then he'd look at her, and I'd go, "Pardon," and he'd go, "You know this guy? You watch TV?" And they say, "Yeah." "You know this guy?" And usually they'd say no. And he'd go, "Anyway, I'm a Silvino." And he'd do just fine on his own. But having said that, I also know he would have really loved for my mom to have seen it all with him every step of the way, because they loved watching stories together. And thanks for all the love from you, love you've shared because I was on your screens or in plays or films that changed how you look at the world. It's so gratifying every time to meet you, and a pleasure to experience your kindness and to hear your stories. It always is welcome and always makes me a better person than I was before we met. And even with all the above, all that I had going for me, it also took so much luck. It's always luck. It's always right place. It's always right time. Always has been. It always will be. And I know how lucky I have been and how lucky I am to be in front of all of you. Thank you, VFF, for making me lucky, even tonight. And I wish for more luck for everybody here in this banquet hall, because we're in a time where we might need a bit more. Thank you very much. Much love.